want to go to John Yoo, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, UC Berkeley Law School professor, former Justice Thomas Law Clerk, great on all of this stuff. So put yourself in representing, a client like Hunter Biden. Would you have him testify, John?
First, I'd make sure I charge him a lot of money. I mean, that's a hard job.
Very hard job.
Abbe Lowell. Yeah, Abbe Lowell was a great trial lawyer, a great criminal defense lawyer. I think Hunter, probably like Donald Trump in a weird parallel, probably wants to testify too and waive his right against self-incrimination. People should remember he has a constitutional right to be silent because it's up to the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Hunter did it. Now, the problem for Hunter is that the crime is actually just reflected on him checking off certain documents on a form. It's really a paper case. So he would want to try to provide personal testimony that he wasn't using drugs or didn't think he was addicted at the time he signed that form. The problem is once you show up and you testify, you're under oath, prosecutors are going to go after him and cross-exam to try to get him to show that he's committing perjury. And I don't think you want Hunter Biden to be on the stand talking about all the details of his life under oath, where there's so many documents, so many reports out there that already have the facts of this time in his life on the public record.
Couldn't he deny that he didn't think he was an addict when he clearly was an addict and say, so technically I didn't lie. I'm not trying to justify it. But you meet many addicts like that who say, oh, no, I don't have a problem.
That seems to be part of Lowell's defense right now, is to show, well, how he might not actually have been using drugs at this time, so maybe he thought he wasn't addicted. It doesn't sound like a very compelling defense. Remember that the prosecution played parts of Hunter Biden's book, read in his own voice.
That's right.
About how he was addicted, yes, during this exact time period. So I actually think, you could try to get Hunter up there and try to get him to make that claim, but it's going to sound like perjury to a jury. I think actually, just like with Donald Trump, I think the best course here for Hunter is not to appear, let it go to the jury, let it go quickly. The defense has not really got a lot of strong arguments. I think they're really making a plea for sympathy to the jury. So why put him on if it could make his case worse?
Yeah, all it takes is one, as you often remind me. You mentioned the jury, and I'm thinking of the Trump jury and this report that Judge Juan Merchan, who's been presiding over that case, well, he apparently wrote to prosecutors and Donald Trump's attorneys yesterday, I believe, about this comment made presumably on the court's Facebook page. We can't verify this. The comment was left by a user claiming to be a cousin of one of the jurors in the case, where the juror must have been telling this friend, this is where it gets kind of weird, that Donald Trump was going to be convicted.
Anything with Facebook is going to be weird.
Well, that's why I only raise it, because it got quite the kerfuffle going yesterday. What do you make of that, and whether that is grounds for sort of upending this case? Some have even said, well, there you go, it's a mistrial. What do you say?
It wouldn't be an automatic mistrial. It also could be completely made up and false. But I think this is going to be another test of this judge, and whether, again, he's in over his head, or whether he can really accommodate the demands of being a presidential candidate and a former president. I think that behooves him to at least make sure there's some kind of investigation into these kinds of comments on the web to track down to see whether they're true or not. And if they are true, then you're right, Neil. I think you could have some kind of hearing, some kind of examination to see if there is a mistrial. Because if someone's communicating with a juror during deliberations, then of course you want to know, was that juror being pressured in any way? Was there any kind of interference with the jury's deliberations? It doesn't sound like it quite yet, but you got to have an investigation to run down the facts to find out.
John, I raised this with you when I found out that, not this particular incident, when jurors are free to go home, and in a city like this leads slightly to the left, but they're talking to their friends, family members. Obviously, this comes up. They're not supposed to talk about it. I cannot imagine a situation where they wouldn't, but maybe they were all good patriots and they stuck to that. If we have a case where one didn't, and we don't know, that's a serious matter, isn't it?
Oh, you're exactly right, Neil, about that. The jurors are basically let on their own recognizance. Only in unusual situations do you keep them sequestered. And you want to make sure that they aren't, in fact, having their deliberations influenced by their living in the community, going home. As you said, all the things that regular people do at the end of the day. You could think of it like jury was a day at work. And then all the things that happen to people after work happen to those jurors. That's always that's part of actually, if you think about why the jury system is such an important protection of our rights too, because we want the jurors to come from the community. We actually created this crazy system so that the government couldn't just stomp down on people and say, you're convicted. The community has to agree. So we want them to be part of the community. But as you say, Neil, we don't want their deliberations influenced by outside forces. And you have to worry how crazy things are today. Who might have tried to influence a jury, for conviction or for innocence.
Interesting. John, I always learn a lot. Thank you, my friend, coming in on a Saturday, no less.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.